called Sensitive. It doesn't have any, I think this is probably one of the only 2 stories I've written that doesn't have any sex. Well, it has lovemaking, but it doesn't describe parts, is what I'm trying to say. So, it's kind of interesting. It's about a sensitive. And for those of you that don't know what a sensitive is, it's a relatively old used term in the spiritualist community for people who, see, hear, feel things. I'm called a sensitive. So that's what I named the story. Sensitive, sensitivity, and sensitivity expounded. The 3 stories I wrote back to back. Well, I'm telling you, I didn't write these stories. The angels wrote these stories, I'm telling you. The rain felt good as it dropped down and saturated her face. She sat on the curb waiting for him, her knight, to save her from this flat tire. He was due to show up any moment now. Her intuitive senses were kicking into high gear. Not too many folks today believed that others have powers greater than oneself, let alone being able to use their gifts that was bestowed upon them. She noticed the glow around the Honda Accord. It glided over to rescue her. "You're going to catch your death. Get in the car. I'll change the tire." His 6'2" large stature. Can you tell, tall man? Stood over her, shielding her from the rain. His shoulders were as wide as the Grand Canyon. She couldn't see the color of his eyes, but she was sure they were blue. "Don't go there with me." She sat in the car as Joe's sample played on the radio. He finished with the tire. In 2 minutes, he tapped on the glass. She rolled the window down. "I think you better get that donut off of there by tomorrow. You know it's not going to last long," he said through shimmering eyes. "Yeah, I know. Here's my card. Let me thank you by making dinner for you sometime." She suddenly noticed the bright blue aura framing his sweet, cold face. His blue eyes shone like diamonds in the night sky. Their eyes danced together for a while. "Well, I better let you go. I better let you go, lady. You have a nice evening, okay?" She knew she met him in her last life. That was a great life, too. "Sure, you be good to yourself. I'll be expecting to hear from you." She put her seatbelt on and giggled at herself, knowing they would be together, but wondering what look he would give her when she finally told him. I just love these names that Spirit gives me sometimes. Kanisa lay in bed wondering what he was thinking. She could almost see him. She could, of course, see his apartment, nice and clean in any case. It was already 4 in the afternoon when her mind was on the dress she was making. It was a lovely summer dress with tons of flowers, and then she would make a matching scarf for the bonnet. The phone brought her back to reality. "Hi, this is the guy that helped you with the car yesterday. Is this a bad time?" "No, not at all." Well, you don't usually take ladies up on offers of fixing their car for dinner, but you just have this wonderful smile that forced me to call you. I know, it sounds stupid." No, really, it doesn't. "So, what are you allergic to, Michael?" As if she didn't already know. They talked for hours and hours. She informed him of things she was informed of things she wasn't told by her angels. Friday came soon enough, and the dinner was ready and the table set. The doorbell rang. "Hi, Michael, you look great. You have quite a cozy home here." She walked him through her small 2-bedroom home. Anyway, I wanted to get, I should have marked it, sorry. Oh, okay. So they're out on top of, the old-fashioned houses that you have, that widow's peak. Google it. So you go, there's, generally it's in the attic, and you go out the widow's peak, and sometimes there's this little tiny patio thing, 2 feet by 2 feet. But anyway, once you go out the widow's peak, you can go sit on like on the top of the roof of your house. Oh, forget it. I'm gonna have to splice this thing up so much. Okay, so anyway, they get to know each other, yada yada yada. They have dinner. Okay, he finally kissed her. The sun rose next morning with his arm around her waist. They lay sleeping in bed. She was stunned to realize that she missed her morning meditation time. She instantly sat up in bed and said her usual prayers, and she took 3 deep breaths. She sensed a new presence in her meditation. Now, mind you, they had been together. Okay, so it's Friday night, and now it's Sunday morning. We learned quite a bit about a person talking all night, only getting 2 hours sleep. Anyway, she sensed a new person in her meditation. It was Michael. He was asking her things in her head. Anyway, he followed her instruction. Okay, then she led him through a guided meditation. She says, you made me realize that I can feel those human feelings after all. Okay, now mind you, excuse me, mind you, it's Saturday night now. He's been there the whole time. Oh, actually, he doesn't leave. He just like went there one night and he just stayed because, well, I don't know, I'm babbling. Okay. What do you mean human? Are you alien? He continued to dry the dishes, and she tried to find where they belong in her cupboards. He turned to ask her again, and she was gone. Was she in the kitchen to be in? Of course, silly of them. He walked to the living room to ask her. She was not there. He ran through the house and couldn't find her. Excuse me, I'm sorry. He went back into the kitchen. She was sitting at the table. Dear, were you just here a minute ago? He pulled out a chair and sat down. I was sitting right here when you ran out frantically. Why? You think your eyes are deceiving you? She laughed over at him. The following week, okay, now his schedule consisted of only working 8 hours. He was a workaholic. And the rest of the time he spent with Kanisa at her place. Hi, hon, how was your day? Here, I brought you some books on Pluto. I think you said you wanted to start reading on them. You know, Pluto, Pythagoras, Ralph Waldo Emerson, all those people were people who like saw into the future, but nobody took them seriously. Really, you can look it up. No, Michael, I didn't. You picked up on that thought and you know it. She kissed him sweetly on the lips. Gee whiz, now I'm picking up on your thoughts. How nice of me. He spun her around and kissed her more deeply and passionately. He walked into the kitchen and prepared their plates and put them on the table. Moved all the papers and they had been writing and researching that usually fill the table. Okay, I'm saying things. It doesn't really say that, but you get the gist of the story. Honey, come eat. She didn't say a word. Honey. She was not in the room or the living room. Okay, already. I'm here. Let's eat. She shouted from the table. How do you do that? Do what? Kanisa, you turn invisible or something because I know you weren't here. You silly boy, I've been behind you the whole time. I'm just playing a joke on you. She sat down quickly and started eating the dinner she made for them. He knew she would love steak and a baked potato and salad. Is there more going on than you're telling me? She continued eating her salad. The night sky was beautiful. She looked up and tried to fall into it. He came out to the roof and sat beside her. Are you from there? Are you of this world at all? I think I dreamed you up. A beautiful brown-skinned Cleopatra woman with the body of a goddess and hair of silk. The wisdom of God's angels. The charm and grace of Aphrodite. Michael, over the past few months we've been together, you've learned that everything is learned on time. In time, right? Yet there is no such thing as time. He said nothing. He lay next to her as if trying to keep her, trying to keep her warm. He looked into the same stars she did, yet his thoughts were on more human interests. Yes, I can, she looked over at him. The whole purpose of this story was to teach him his purpose for being.